That's right. Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation 1. An all-timer in my opinion. Still the best Resident Evil game, and I would argue the best horror game ever created. Now, that's just my silly opinion, but for my first ever Let's Play on this channel, I really wanted it to be something special, something I could share with you guys, something that I knew a lot about. And really, nothing else hits that itch quite like the original Resident Evil 2. Now, I don't claim to be a complete expert in this game, however, I will say I'm pretty damn knowledgeable on it. So, if you guys will join me, I think it's about time we begin our descent into Raccoon City.
Resident Evil 2.
A bizarre incident occurred in the outskirts of an American suburb called Raccoon City. It was later revealed that the terrible disaster had been caused by the T-virus, a mutagenic toxin created by the international enterprise Umbrella Incorporated for use in bioweapon experiments. The Raccoon City Police Department's Special STARS unit immediately began investigation in the affair. The case was apparently closed, thanks to the efforts of STARS members Chris Redfield and Jill Valentine. But the Umbrella Corporation's experiments were far from finished.
How mysterious. Or not. I mean, I imagine most people here have played Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3. I know everyone here has played Resident Evil 4 because everyone and their grandmother has played Resident Evil 4. However, you might be wondering why I'm starting with Resident Evil 2 and not Resident Evil 0 or Resident Evil 1. Fact of the matter is, this is my Leon S. Kennedy marathon.
What have
the
we
man
got
himself. So, Leon Kennedy marathon, what that entails is I'm going to be playing through Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 4 Remake, and Resident Evil 6. This is all leading up to Resident Evil 9, on which I hope to be able to film for you guys.
Why'd he bite me?
One of the amazing cutscenes in Resident Evil 2 here. With a Taxico. Not a Texaco, a Taxico. I've always been a huge fan of how this game's cutscenes were. I mean, visually they look a little silly, but they are, I mean, about as old as they get. Look at these zombies. They look creepier than the new games.
Alright, that's far enough. Don't move!
There's like that uncanny valley aspect about them that all PS1 characters have.
No!
Even Leon looks a little weird. This is before he got his pretty boy haircut.
What's up with that guy? That was a clean hit.
Leon in all of his glory.
Wait,
don't shoot!
Down!
That guy only takes one bullet, because
We
the
can't
story
stay out
demands
here.
it.
Head to the police station. It'll be a lot safer.
But normally, as you can tell, it takes a million shots. Even when it's a clean hit, just hit that guy.
There! Buckle up.
Okay.
We also have the introduction of Claire Redfield in Resident Evil 2. A fan favorite.
On. I arrived in town.
It's only been in a
and
couple
the whole
games
place
though.
went
Resident Evil
insane.
2,
Radio's
Dark
out.
Side Chronicles,
You're a cop, right?
Yeah, first day
Resident
on the
Evil
job.
Code Veronica
Hey,
X,
Name's
and
Leon Kennedy. Nice to meet you.
Resident
Mine's
Evil
Claire. Claire Redfield.
Revelations 2.
I came to find my brother.
Which I've never
Chris.
played Revelations 2. She is the sister of Claire Redfield, or Chris Redfield, my bad, and
Hey,
wasn't
did you open the
originally
glove
in
box?
the beta
Sure.
of Resident Evil 2.
There's a gun
Resident Evil
inside.
Better
1.5
take it with you.
actually consisted of a character named Elsa Walker. No! Elsa is not Claire. Common misconception that Elsa is just Claire, or Claire's just Elsa. No, they're two different characters.
You okay?
Served
Still in one piece.
very similar premises in the story. They were different.
Maniac's gonna ram us!
As a maniac, why'd he bite me? Damn. Things could not start worse for our two protagonists, but
Claire!
as they're soon to realize,
okay.
it does
Head
get
to the station.
worse.
I'll
It
meet
does
you there.
progressively get worse.
Okay.
As we're about to get right into the fire here, with some amazing tank controls. They were parted by an unescapable destiny. This is just the beginning of their worst nightmare. That worst nightmare being tank controls. Goodness. They're not that bad once you get used to them, but I know the first time I played this game, I died a million times in this first area. They really put you in a bad spot. This guy to go here. Run past them. And now let's go talk to Kendo. Robert Kendo, owner of the Kendo Gun Shop. And in Resident Evil 2, like, you can do everything
Freeze!
until your foot touches that one spot.
Who
You can do whatever you want.
What are you doing here?
Now Kendo
Hold your fire! I'm a
is
human!
pissed. Whoa, sorry about that.
Sorry about that.
Real Canadian guy, this Robert Kendo.
I thought you were one of them.
What's going on in this town?
Hold on. I don't have a clue. By the time I noticed something was wrong, the entire city was infested with zombies.
If you've played the remake, you'll know that he did a lot more in the remake. The whole scenario with him and his daughter that's added to the remake is not present here because Kendo is just a humble gun shop owner in Resident Evil 2. This was not the case in Resident Evil 1.5, however, where Robert Kendo has a much more expanded role. In this one, though, he's just kind of the guy that tells Leon, like, hey, this town is fucking crazy. And also, I'm gonna die. The short-lived life of Robert Kendo in Resident Evil 2. But he is a nice guy because he lets us get the... You stop breathing. He lets us get the shotgun a little bit earlier than we're supposed to. What a generous guy that Robert Kendo is, giving us a shotgun before we're supposed to have it. Mighty kind man. As you can see, there's these guys who died playing a game of b-ball, or whatever it is they were doing before they died. I'm not entirely sure. But we could shoot them if we want to. Doesn't matter anyways, though, because they break right through and become our problem again anyways. That's okay. We're gonna get the ammo right here. Wunderbass, as Lake would say. And now, I'm gonna break the cardinal rule of Resident Evil 2. I'm gonna shoot my gun. And get grabbed anyways. What's up, buddy? A really unfortunate position. I kind of gotta get grabbed here. Alright, buddy. Why is that cop playing basketball? It's kind of what you gotta wonder. And in his uniform, too. Real community guy, that cop, you know? I like to imagine, before all this happened, that cop... By the way, I think that says, like, Merry Christmas right there. What is that? Memory... I can't read it. I don't know. But, I like to imagine that guy was a pretty big fan of basketball, you know? Big name in the community. Probably could have gone pro if it hadn't been for his bad knee injury. Yeah, they spit acid at you. I never understood why. I can't get down from here. I'm stuck. Alright, this is a little ridiculous. I have no idea what the hell that was, but they were seriously camping me up there. That has never happened to me before, where I get camped up on a trash can, had to use more ammo. Cardinal sin in Resident Evil 2 is shooting your gun before you're supposed to, which is pretty much ever. You can run through almost every obstacle in this game, but that doesn't account for acid-spitting trash can zombies. Now we get to deal with this harpy. Bye. Farewell! I'm gonna shoot this guy a couple times, run past him. Bait that guy into trying to give me the chomp. Bait these guys out. God damn it. I was giving the chomp. Very unfortunate. However, move on. And as I said before, I know my way around this game, so getting the chomp here and there is not that big of a deal. I shot way too many bullets, but in my defense, on that trash can, I kind of had to. Okay? I have never been stuck like that before, and I do not desire to be stuck like that again. By the way, there is an herb right there. Little known fact, there's an herb right there. Here we are, the Raccoon City Police Department, my favorite location in just about any horror game. I think when it comes to atmosphere, there's very little places in gaming in general that beat it, especially not survival horror. The way your footsteps echo, the soundtrack in the background, just all like architecture of the police station is one of a kind, and nothing has really matched it since. I did all that just to have nothing happen there, but it's for peace of mind, right? I can get the chomp one more time now. Ink Ribbon! So, as most of you know, the original Resident Evil game, saving was currency. You had to have ink ribbons if you wanted to save your game, which means you better be careful when you save because you might not be able to later on. I'm gonna get that keycard from Marv. He's not in the best shape when we find him, and is another character who's gonna have a way more expanded role in Resident Evil 1.5. He does in the remake too.
Who are you? Oh, you must be the new guy. Leon. Sorry, but it looks like your party has been canceled. What happened? About 2 months ago, there was this incident involving zombies in a mansion located in the outskirts of this city.
An awesome game idea.
Chris and the other STARS members discovered that Umbrella was behind everything. They risked their lives to reveal the truth, but no one believed them.
Oh.
Not long after that, all this started to happen. Hang in there. Don't worry about me. Just rescue the survivors in the other rooms. Here, take this key card. You should be able to unlock the doors in the hall with this. Now go. But just go.
Fine. but I'm coming back for you. Just hold on.
Okay. One thing I've always wondered is how Marvin gets up to lock that door when he's clearly not in the best shape when we see him, but whatever. I guess locking that door was that important. He had to muster up all the will he had to go ahead and lock that door. Guy Marvin. He gave us the key card to unlock all the doors. Link. Link. Key card is now useless. We want to go ahead and burn a save. Let's go ahead and burn a save. Okay. So as you can see, saving is a limited resource. One you have to be very, very careful with when you use it, because if not, you fuck yourself. You really, really could. Awesome. Okay, so this is the first box room in Resident Evil 2. Well, I guess it depends on where you go first, but this is typically your first introduction to the item box. A staple of original Resident Evil games. You had to store your items because you have very limited item space. This room in particular has always been super special to me because, I mean, the layout is just super iconic. Everything here looks so cool with all the like camera angles and stuff like this. Like, look at this. So cool. Like this receptionist desk, it's just a receptionist desk, but it looks awesome. There's a wanted poster right here. There's like other suspect photos right there. And I'm gonna drool over how the camera angles make this game so much better, but it's the truth. I really don't like that games have moved away. I understand why. Over the shoulder is better in a lot of cases, but I don't like for survival horror that we've really lost the lost art of pre-rendered backgrounds and fixed camera angles. I think they make games like this stand on their own so much better. Like, you always remember how Resident Evil's graphics look because there's really nothing else like them. They're from a bygone era. Like this, Silent Hill, Dino Crisis. Games just don't look like this anymore. And, you know, as the technology gets better, it makes sense, but it is fun to look back on what used to be. Let's go read this right here, though. Police Memorandum. This letter is just to inform everyone about the recent movement of equipment that has happened during the precinct's rearrangement. The safe with 4-digit lock has been moved from the STARS office on the second floor to the Eastern office on the first floor. 2236, Raccoon Police Liaison Department. Liaison Department. I read it poorly. That's another thing, text files in games. You still get them, but they don't look like that anymore. Alright, we're about to get to a very special room for a lot of people. Where a lot of people get the first scare that really scares the shit out of them. And it's foreshadowed right there with that liquor crawling across the window. I've always loved that. An empty hallway. The sound of blood trickling from the ceiling. This is always creepy. You just have like the windows, a lot of them busted open. That sound, it's just so visceral. And this is another scenario where the fixed camera angles really, really set the tone. Because you don't get to see anything in Resident Evil 2 that the developers didn't want you to see just yet. And clearly, they don't want you to know what's in here. Let's see what this unfortunate gentleman went through. The head is missing. It seems to have been twisted off. He also has some handgun ammo for it. Check it again. So now, we're gonna get to figure out what could have done this. I mean, clearly a regular zombie wasn't enough. And judging by this window being open, something must have happened, right? There's the pool of blood right there, which means perpetrator can't be too far. Liquor. The first thing that ever gave me pause in this game. He's a scary-ass motherfucker, to say the least. And normally it takes 2 shotgun shells, but I got very unlucky in that encounter. He took more than that. Ugly son of a bitch. But yeah, for me and a lot of people, this is kind of the first enemy in this game that really made me go like, oh my god. Especially in that cutscene, he looks so visceral and scary. And liquors can do a lot of damage, and they do show up out of nowhere sometimes. Even if I do think that they are scarier in the original and the remake because of how, I guess, more vicious they are, this one has a special charm to it with not only the design, but the sound design. Ugh! That's so creepy. It's like how the female zombies make way scarier sounds than the male ones in this. The green herb, that's helpful, because I've already taken a couple hits that I really could have avoided. Let's go back to that box real quick, because this shotgun is now useless to me. It serves no value. Thanks, Kendo. You helped me get out of 2 spots. One, I shouldn't have even been stuck in the first place, but hey. First time for everything, right? So, we survived our first liquor encounter, even if it took more ammunition than I was hoping for. But now it's time to venture in and see what else the police station has in store for Leon S. Kennedy. The rookie who's probably wishing he didn't miss his first day. Or who's probably happy he missed his first day, because shit hit the fan. Another thing about Leon is you may not know why he missed his first day, or is late for his first day. You see, the thing is with Leon, prior to getting the call to come to Raccoon City, he was recently broken up with by his lady friend. Yikes. So in turn, he got really drunk, as most 21-year-olds do in those situations, and missed his first day. So we're actually late to the party. In hindsight, it's probably a good thing, because Leon could have been that unfortunate guy that got his head twisted off by a liquor. Instead, he came to work really hungover. That's why he's hunched over. Like, it's not the damage. He's got to puke. Unfortunately, there are no bathrooms in the original Resident Evil 2. For some reason. Another fun fact, these used to be Coca-Cola machines, I'm pretty sure. But they had to be changed for copyright reasonings. Another room that is interesting to me is the conference room. As you can see, very thrown together room. There's no enemies in here, but it's still very memorable. Super gritty, as is every room in this game, but the conference room has always been nice to me because it's an area where obviously there's supposed to be a large presence, yet no one's here. Eerie. I'm sure our compatriots at the Raccoon City Police Department are fine, as this note will surely tell us. Operation Report. Operation Report, September 26th. The Raccoon Police Department was unexpectedly attacked by zombies. Okay, maybe not. Many have been injured, even more were killed. During the attack, our communications equipment was destroyed and we no longer have contact with the outside. We've decided to carry out an operation with the intent of rescuing any possible survivors as well as to prevent this disaster from spreading beyond Raccoon City. The details of the operation are as follows. Security of armaments and ammunition. Chief Irons has voiced concerns regarding the issue of terrorism, and due to a series of recent unsolved incidents on the very day before the zombies' attack, he made the decision to relocate all weapons to scattered intervals throughout the building as a temporary measure to prevent their possible seizure. Unfortunately, this decision has made it extremely difficult for us to locate all ammunition caches. It has become our top priority to recover these scattered munitions to unlock the weapons store. As stated earlier, it will be extremely difficult to secure all the ammunition. However, a considerable supply will remain in the underground weapons storage. Unfortunately, the person in charge of that card key used to access the weapons storage is missing. We have been unable to locate the key. One of the breakers went down during the battle, and the electronic locks are not functioning in certain areas. It has become a top priority to restore the power in the power room and secure those locks. Reporter, David Ford. Operation report, September 26th. 1 p.m. The last barricade has been broken through and another exchange ensued. We sheltered the injured in the confiscation room on the first floor temporarily. 12 more people were injured in that battle. Per David Ford. Additional report. 3 additional people were killed following the sudden appearance of an as of yet unknown creature. This creature is identified by missing patches of skin and razor-like claws. However, the most distinguished characteristic is its lance-like tongue, capable of piercing a human torso in an instant. Their numbers, as well as their location, remains unknown. We have tentatively named this creature the Licker, and are currently in the process of developing countermeasures to deal with this new threat. I suppose they didn't try shotgun shells, as that worked fairly well for us last time, although it took more than 2, so maybe they only had 2 shotgun shells. Normally that's enough, as we saw. Things aren't quite normal today in the Raccoon City. It's a fireplace, and an oil painting hangs above. The title is A Sacrifice to the Hellfire. Is that a dolly? Interesting. Unfortunately for us, it has something we need. It has the red jewel. Will you take the red jewel? Of course. Man, I really hope that wasn't the Chief's favorite painting, or else we are in a lick of trouble. Go over here, you can find some handgun ammo. I mean, as you know, most police stations just keep their handgun ammo on the floor. A lot of these pickups that I've found aren't in the original Japanese version of Resident Evil 2, or as they call it, Biohazard 2. I guess they realized that Americans are stupid, and they gave us a bunch of ammo and healing items that were in the original. Thanks, Japan. I guess incompetence works out for me today, though, because without it, I would be walking around in circles. Luckily, I live in America, where the Second Amendment right is all mine. Which means I can start blasting whenever the situation arises. Cardinal sin! Again, but I don't care. Like I said, this is America. And it's my God-given right to expend all my ammunition before I need to. Get off me. I get it. It's Leon. We all want to take a bite out of Leon from time to time. But you need to keep your desires in check, or I'm going to file an HR complaint on you. The herbs are plentiful. Our very first official save room. Oh, get a load of that theme. Isn't it wonderful? Really fills you with the existential dread of a zombie apocalypse on your first day of work. You don't have to worry about really awkward workplace banter. There's more ammo here. Yep, and we'll take it. Because as I stated before, I have currently used my Second Amendment right a bit more than most people do at this point in Resident Evil 2. But, hey, can you blame me? One of those situations wasn't even my fault, and the other time, well, like I said, they got a little too handsy. And whenever that happens, sometimes there's only one option. This is the dark room, and this is where we can develop photos. At the moment, we have no film to develop photos, but as Leon so confidently states, we can do so if we so choose. But unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have anything to develop, so onward we go. I would save, but I feel pretty confident in not needing to at the moment. There's a window here. It's too dark to see anything at me. But Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, that window's busted, because Nemesis jumps through it. Fortunately for Leon, he does not have to worry about Nemesis, because he's not a member of STARS. Although, let's face it, how could you say no to this face? The statue puzzle. You can actually really fuck yourself here if you do this the wrong way, because you can get it locked, which luckily, if you do that, you can just exit through that door and fix the problem immediately. But if not, well, get it stuck on the wall. Come on, Leon. You're embarrassing me here. I'm trying to tell the audience about how to beat Resident Evil 2, and you're over here getting stuck on statues. What even is this statue? Julius Caesar? I always love this theme in this hallway. Again, there's another hallway where nothing happens. Although, if you do want to see something, the knob turns, but the door won't budge. It seems to be sealed from the other side. One of the biggest gaming mysteries is what's on the other side of that door. And in this playthrough, I will show you what's on the other side of that door. Never before seen footage of what's on the other side of the Resident Evil 2 door, next to the statue puzzle. The official title of this room. I think it's just a hallway. I think it's just the second floor hallway, but over here, Crimson Candy Productions, we call it the absurdly long titled statue hallway door that no one knows the other side of, except we do, and it's really obvious. That dude's jewel. Give it to me, Rhino Head. Leon is a collector of fine jewelry, as you'll notice. Anything that has to do with jewels and keys and plugs, Leon likes to get his hands on it. A collector of some sort. Again, shooting ammo I don't really have, because, well, why not? One to the floor, too, for good measure. This will surely not come back to bite me in the ass. You can run past all of these, but me personally, I like to shoot my gun. Okay, we get more shotgun rounds here, as we get in a completely new shotgun, making the one Robert Kendo so heroically sacrificed himself for completely useless. We also get a first aid spray. Go ahead and use one of these and be fine for the first time in the game. Wow, look at that. The hangover was cured. Leon might be the first person to ever get over his hangover by smoking weed. You may laugh, that is a Resident Evil weed joke using herbs. Never done before. This channel has riveting content like that. This next thing I want to show you guys is a little secret that most people should know about if you've played this game before. But I'm going to assume you haven't. I'm in a Big Brother mode you. We're going to start clicking this desk. It's a trash desk that someone must have destroyed for some reason or another. I mean, mahogany desk, really? It doesn't bring the room together very much. But if you keep searching it, something might happen. And I mean, when you get in a situation like this, between me and you, the viewer, it gets a little central. I mean, clicking a desk 50 times is quite the event. I'm wasting a lot of time here. I'm wasting your time clicking on this desk 50 times. But it's about the destination here, not the journey. Because the journey is really, really, really boring. It consists of me clicking my cross button 50 times. But as you can see, it pays off because we got film that we wouldn't get it elsewhere. It appears to be a replica of a gun. The owner is probably a member of the NRA. As you can imagine. NRA shout out right there. We love our National Rifle Association. Picture of a young man. There's a good chance it's her boyfriend, Leon said sadly. I get it, Leon. It's Jill Valentine. Making a bit of an assumption there, are we? Chris's diary. Dude, this is my dang diary. Don't read it. It's a journal. Oh my goodness, no. August 8th. I talked to the chief today, but he refused to listen to me. I knew that guy was... I know for certain that Umbrella conducted T-virus research in that mansion. Anyone infected turns into a zombie. Man, I hope Sourdough gets infected. He'd have more brains as a zombie than a man. The entire mansion went up in that explosion, along with any incriminating evidence. Since Umbrella employs so many people in town, no one is willing to talk about the incident. It looks like I'm running out of options. August 17th. We've been receiving a lot of local reports about strange monsters appearing at random throughout the city. This must be the work of Umbrella. August 24th. With the help of Jill and Barry, I finally obtained the information vital to the case. Umbrella has begun research on a new G-virus, a variation of the original T-virus. Haven't they done enough damage already? Golly! We talked it over and have decided to fly to the main Umbrella HQ in Europe. I won't tell my sister about this trip because doing so could put her in danger. Please forgive me, Claire. Unicorn medal. Awesome. I love unicorn.
Leon!
It's good to see you're still among the living. It looks like we're not gonna find your brother here after all.
Here's his diary, Claire. Leon, that's a journal. My brother would never keep a diary. It's what he said.
There's no reason for us to stay any longer than necessary. Let's split up, look for any survivors, and get out of here.
Right.
One last thing. Here's a radio. Take it. That way we can keep in touch if anything happens.
See, even when he was blocky and weird looking, Leon could still put the moves on a lady. That's how you give someone your number without giving someone your number. Anything else you want to say?
I can't believe what is happening to this city.
Yeah, first your brother has a diary, and all the zombies and shit. That is pretty crazy, Claire. Anyways, I'm gonna go leave now. I want to go play with my newly found film. I'm ignoring that zombie. I got nothing. He's got nothing for me. See, these statues reset themselves nicely. Or Claire went and undid all my work. Actually, they're in the right spots now. I did that. I did that! No amount of Claire sabotage could ruin it. As you remember, this is the film room, where we can develop all of our film, all of our one film that we have. First, let me put up this up. Let's see. What awaits us on this awesome film? I'm so excited. What did Albert Wesker have in his desk? Recruit. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Albert Wesker just had a really scary looking photo of rookie STARS Alpha Team member Rebecca Chambers in a basketball bikini. for some reason. I mean, yeah, of course, that is a normal thing to have. Big fan of Rebecca. Film D. Wesker, you weird son of a bitch. Was she even legal during that? Anyways, I guess we'll find out if Wesker really is a creep on the next episode. I'm going to save. This has been my Resident Evil 2 Let's Play Part 1. I'm Crimson Candy, and if you're enjoying it, please subscribe. If not, well, I'm gonna waste even more ammo, so you better subscribe and like this video and share it to everyone, or I'm gonna shoot all of my bullets into this wall right now. Alright. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one. Peace!